Hello! Let's see what happens here. We're back for more stream. Hopefully, it works better this time. I still see some drop frames coming out on the other side. Not sure what. Oh, yeah, it's getting worse. Getting way worse. It could be just my neighborhood is maybe just having a little bit of an internet disruption this morning, and that might be a bummer. And what I can do is try to do this as long as it's tolerable for people, and if it stops being tolerable for people, then we'll reschedule it. We'll do it a different day. For anybody who is joining us, hey, I'm Bug. I'm from a band called Bug Hunter. This is the second attempt at doing this stream again. I just got back from tour. Let me put up the tour stuff so that I don't have to. Can I turn my volume up? Yeah, I can turn my volume up. How is that? Is that better for volume? It's probably too loud for me to play, but I can talk with it. So yeah, me and Matt from the Narcissus Cookbook just got back from our first leg of our tour, the June dates. So everything kind of on the left-hand side of that. Basically, we hit the West Coast, if the West Coast extended all the way out to Denver, which it now does. Yeah, we did 10 shows. We did Portland, we did Sacramento, we did Hollywood, we did San Diego, Phoenix, Albuquerque, Denver, Salt Lake, Boise, and Seattle. It was a very fun trip. We were all very tired by the end of it, but we had a really good time. It was probably it was probably our best tour that we've done so far, just in terms of just turnout, enthusiasm, songs, set lists. It was great. We had such a good time. It was a first time touring the U.S. with Happiness Without a Catch out, so being able to play a lot of those songs was really, really fun. To be able to get up and play Not Like That and 30 Plan and Shocking Plot Twist and A Bedtime Story at every show, and a lot of times I'd play Platonic Best Friend. I didn't get to Alchemical, Robbing a Bank, Fan Fiction, or One Hour Tug on this tour, but I did quite a bit of the first half of the album because people were, as Matt likes to say, popping off for it. So Max was at Portland and Seattle. I remember you. It was a good time. Both shows very fun. Got to see the first show where we were unpracticed but fresh, and the last show we were very practiced and tired. So it was a good time. I loved all the shows. The only bummer, I think, was we had to cancel the VIP event in Albuquerque because of the flood warnings. But luckily the show got to go on. That would have been a bummer to cancel the whole show for that, because it was a nothing burger, but you know, when we all are sitting outside the venue and we get a thing on our phones just going like, do not drive unless you are fleeing the area, like this is a life-threatening situation. We're sitting there like, we can't tell people like come to this show if it's like that, right? And so luckily the times only coincided for VIP. The regular show, it was over. And then we managed to get stuck in the mud in Pecos, New Mexico, in the van. And so we were up all night trying to figure that out. It was a good time. Cool. So let's do a little cozy Q&A. If anybody has any questions for me about the tour, about the songs that I released. I released a song called Disc Golf on June. Who knows? No, it was May 31st. When was it? It was May 31st. Friday? I don't even remember anymore. June 2nd was Portland. Yeah? Yep. So it would have been May 31st. So May 31st, put out a new song called Disc Golf. And then also another song under the Jam Mechanics artist page called The Hook. So if people didn't know about that, that's another Bug Hunter song that you can go listen to. That it's, you know, Jam Mechanics I'm just using as a playground. Like, it's just a different project, but it's still us. So cool. Knacker asks, how much disc golf was played in the research for this song? Great question. The song is probably a little delayed. As anybody knows, the chorus of the song says, I've been getting into disc golf lately, but I am a proven liar given that I was playing this song a lot on my tour in 2022. So there's a lot of people who heard this song about 2 years ago. It was originally written for Happiness, and it just didn't have a place. So I waited a couple months and then put it out as a single. But even then, it was pretty delayed. I've been playing disc golf since I was like, I don't know, 21. I was in college college, probably like 19, 20. So I've been playing for a long time. I don't play as much as I used to, but the sentiment behind the song I stand by, because it was my experience as I lived it in 2011. So yeah, I played a lot of disc golf. I don't play disc golf like most people play disc golf. I actually kind of treat disc golf as a kind of a exercise a bit. Me and my brother used to go and we'd run. We'd huck the disc as far as we could, and then we'd run to it, and then pick it up and throw it as fast as we could, and then run to it, and we would just play as if we were kind of going for a jog, and also playing disc golf at the same time. So we could play like 36 holes in an hour. We just loop around. It was fun. So I never did get the bag of discs, but that is based off of very, very real people, and one of them is it's kind of a spiritual sequel to Boogie Pete in a way, because Pete became disc golf guy several years ago, and like paid for like a professional disc golf player to like coach him, which is hilarious. But cool. Bug, how did you feel about Matt's "This Is How We Get Better" poll on Instagram? I loved it. I was surprised that Matt did it, because Matt doesn't like data. We talk about this in the car a lot. I love data, and Matt doesn't like data. I was like, this looks a lot like data to me, but I thought it was fun. I voted in it. I think it came down to Simplest Words, Good Morning Sunshine, and Heat Death of the Universe, which is a great top 3. And I think I voted Simplest Words because it's just such an epic song. It's so good. Yeah. Cornfield said, no question, but in Hollywood, my friend did the Hell Yeah Up and 30 plan, and you nodded at her, and every time we talk about it, she brings it up. So thanks for making her happy. Yeah. It's not everybody does that part, because it's kind of a background vocal, but when people do it, I always get pleased, because I don't know if it's going to happen at any particular show. So when it does, I'm like, thank you. It's kind of like there's always a catch, and when you're sad in Not Like That, those sometimes get done very loudly, and sometimes they don't get done at all, which I think is always kind of a fun little what's going to happen. It's I was going to say Chekhov's cat, but no, it's Schrodinger's cat, not Chekhov's cat. Anyways. Bug lies in his songs. Don't tell me you've also not been getting into board games lately. Definitely have. I played 2 rounds of Arkham Horror last night. It was my first time playing in like over a month, and I was so happy to be back and able to play my favorite board game. So, we got some people, Luke and Calvin, talking about Dissin on June 28th. Yep. So we have another song dropping in less than a week. 5 days from now, we'll have Dissin, which is from episode 4, season 1 of Jam Mechanics. The full version of that is going to be on Spotify, and I'm very excited. Where the hook was not terribly different from the demo version, besides bringing Matt on to do the devil parts of the hook, and kind of giving a new context to some of the lines in there. I think it only rewrote one line in that entire song. Dissin has been reworked a little more. It'll feel very familiar, but I've made some changes to it that I'm happy with. So yeah, if you haven't listened to Jam Mechanics, go listen to Jam Mechanics. It's a great time. Our tour was just one long plug for our podcast. Yeah, Time asked how much you altering, changing Dissin. I didn't mess with the hi-hats, the trap hi-hats too much. I turned them down a little bit, but more kind of structure and lyric changes. Yeah, it's gonna be good. Y'all are gonna really like it, or feel very offended, one or the other. I don't know. I think it's fun. For anybody who gets offended by Dissin, I'm sorry. Y'all, it shouldn't be so easy to diss, I guess. That one super cool tune he asked, what are some games you played on the bus during tour? I like that you call it a bus. It's a van. Someday maybe we'll get to a bus, but it is just a van at the moment. And we played one game and one game only. That game was Speedrunners. I don't remember the name of it. We called it something else that I can't repeat on the stream, but I think it was either Speed Chasers or Speedrunners. It's just like a 2D side-scrolling platformer game where it's like if they turn Mario Kart into a 2D platformer, that's basically the gist of it. And it's so fun. It's awesome. And that's all we played the whole time because it had local Wi-Fi, so we could play it in the deserts of New Mexico without needing internet connection, and we could all connect to each other. And yeah, it was really fun. Jesse was the best at it out of everybody. Speedrunners, yeah. Yeah, so. Eric wants to know, can you give us more details about the whole van in the mud incident? We got our van stuck in the mud, and we had to call somebody to come get our van out of the mud, and it took a long time. But it was fine because it happened on a night after a show where we had a day off, so nothing was missed except some sleep. Advisory Chick wants to know, which city had the most energetic crowd on the June tour? It's a good question. So I'm trying to think if there's a different answer between energy per person or total energy, because it wasn't super fair. Seattle had 340 people there. San Diego had 80, right? So like obviously Seattle is going to be more energetic, but if we're talking about per person, I do remember remarking that the sing-alongs in Portland, which was like 270, and the sing-alongs in Sacramento, which was like 180, were like pretty similar. And even San Diego went bonkers. I'd say we had three small shows. San Diego, Albuquerque, and Boise were all about 80 people. Everything else was quite a bit larger. And of those three, I would have to say that San Diego, of the small shows, was the most enthusiastic between the three shows. They were all enthusiastic, but just when you think all those shows had somewhere between 78 and 84 people, and I know this, San Diego was the most enthusiastic singing along of those three, but all three were great. If you compare Denver, Portland, Seattle, which were all kind of more similar vibes, I think Denver probably overall was the most enthusiastic, and I'd say that because they gave Jesse, like, I just was like, Jesse Galloway, everybody, and then they cheered for Jesse for like 2 minutes, and then at the end of cheering for Jesse for 2 minutes, they started a Jesse chant, to where at the point where we were just kind of like, we were just walking around the stage, we were just looking at our watches, and we could have played a whole nother song in the amount of time they spent cheering for Jesse. What was the hottest venue? Well, Sacramento was the hottest day that we had, but it had air conditioning, so it wasn't crazy hot inside as it was last year. Last year, Sacramento venue was very hot. Trying to think, Salt Lake was hot when we walked in, but they hadn't turned the AC on. It was good. No, we had AC everywhere we went, so everything was pretty good. So. You should make a song about the Van Mud thing, yeah. Mitchell says, speaking of Jesse, love his music. Yeah, if you haven't listened to Galloway, they actually released a song while we were on tour, on the last Friday of tour, a song called Armillaria. If you haven't listened to Galloway, yeah, that's Jesse. Jesse is our bassist, guitarist, kazooist, multi-instrumentalist. Actually did the drums for the hook as a first, doing... Yeah, so go listen to Galloway. They got a huge variety of songs. So, was there any fun American things you all introduced Matt to? Let me think. We hit Waffle House. We got Buc-ee's, but he's done Buc-ee's before. One thing that I loved while I was in New Mexico and even Denver to an extent was how much green chili was used in the cuisine. I think the best food I had was at this little place, like an hour from Pecos, New Mexico. I don't even remember the name of the town anymore, but it was like a green chili breakfast burrito and a green chili cheeseburger. Oh man, so good. Matt found a couple new Reese's products that hadn't previously tried. I'm trying to think if there's anything more aggressively American that we showed Matt. Well, the heat, obviously, those 110, 112 temperatures in Sacramento in the heat dome. Time wants to know, is Jesse going to make a return for the next leg? I think the plan is currently I have Kyle and Jesse slated for the first 3 shows of August. So DC, New York, and Boston. That is what we have planned so far. Anything beyond that, we're still kind of just looking at things for time on, time in, time around. But I can almost guarantee that. I know that Kyle, I think those are the only 3 that Kyle can do for sure, because his anniversary is around that time, and so like has to go back. Yeah, there's not a chance that Kyle's gonna make it to Durham. I'm sorry, but Jesse, we can be a little more flexible with. I think a lot of kind of what we're waiting on is me figuring out the UK stuff and seeing what we can do around people coming to the UK, which is significantly more expensive. And so, it's one of those things. It's like, oh, well, you can do, 10 shows in the US, or you can do these 5 shows in the UK for the same kind of like cost of just overhead of getting people where they need to be, and just deciding what we want to do. And so I think we're waiting until I get the UK stuff figured out to kind of discuss, okay, well, what is more compelling to you? Is it more, do you want to go to London and play a show in London, or do you want to play shows in like the Midwest, and discussing that? So yeah, and as Appa Games asked, any chance we're getting a Europe tour? I'm working on that now. Our plan is to play a couple more Europe-based shows. Currently looking at the Netherlands, Germany, potentially France, maybe in Paris, but it is very, very difficult to find and book shows because I have to go through a lot of websites, and they're not in English, and I have to translate them to English, and it just takes a very long time to kind of get contact information, and finding capacities of venues is much harder over there. In the US, there's just a great website called Indie on the Move that just has a database of all of the music venues in America, and the email addresses or phone numbers, and I just go to it, and I just filter by capacity. I'm like, I need a capacity like 300 venue in Portland, and it'll just tell me what they are, but there's no such thing that I found for Europe. And so it's like Googling music venue, Paris, and it'll be like, well, yeah, he play the Superdome thing. It's like, okay, well, I don't want the Superdome, and I'll say small venue Paris, and it'd be like, oh, play the Tiny Dome, which is like 10,000 capacity. That's small, right? And it's like, no, I'm looking for small music venues. And so just Googling around is very hard. It's just difficult, and I do it all myself. So I'm working on it, but doing the best that I can. Cool. Why don't I play a song? It seems like the drop frames have stopped, so that's cool. Maybe once I start playing, it'll be like, hey, I'm back. It's too difficult to keep up. This one's new. I've been getting into disc golf lately. I've got a single frisbee I throw as hard as I can. Been talking about disc golf lately. So L-E-T-U-M-E, let me T-E-L, let me tell you. Oh, it's a Saturday morning and I just need some fresh air, so I am heading on now, and y'all can probably guess where I'm going. Disc golfing, yeah, just hucking shots with my pals. We're just putzing around, we don't really know how. Step up to the tee, hit a tree, hey, no big deal, this game is free. Been getting into disc golf lately. I've got a driver and a putter disc. they're different. Been talking about disc golf lately. So L-E-T-M-E, let me T-E-L, let me tell you. I start each morning on the course, most days on my own. It's not a spectator sport while I work on my throws, but the joggers and dog walkers all stop to watch, cause I recite the same chant every time that I toss. Double, bogey, bogey, par, birdie, eagle, huck it hard. Been getting into disc golf lately. I've got a regulation basket installed in my backyard. Been talking about disc golf lately. So L-E-T-M-E, let me T-E-L, let me tell you. Well, I've got a bag full of discs, they're worth $1,000 for the lot, but I'm prepared for whatever angle or shot. For any possible obstacle, I got just what I need. It's got a pocket for popsicles, so I don't overheat. And all the kids on the course, they are distracting and cringy, and I'm rolling my eyes when they call it a frisbee. They're hooting and hollering, all in good moods, but they'll never get sponsored with those attitudes. But wait, why am I acting this way? Did I hyperfixate again? Got in over my head. Oh, all that money I spent on frisbees. I get so obsessed, I lose track of reality. I need someone else just to spell it all out for me. Don't make your hobbies your whole personality. Next time I'll ease in and try to play casually. L-E-T-M-E, let me T-E-L, let me tell you. Anyways, been getting into board games lately. Thank you, everybody. That's a new song called Disc Golf, and it's funny, before I released it, I was telling Ladybug, I was like, oh yeah, we're releasing Disc Golf in a couple of weeks, and she's like, again? And I was like, no, first time. And it's because it's just seems like I've thought of it as a Bug Hunter song for like years now, but just never released it. Whoops. I wrote it in probably 2021, early 2021, I think, when I just moved back to Nashville for a bit. And I think when I toured in 2022, I did a lot of like house shows, backyard shows, things like that, and I played it at like almost half those shows, and I had so many messages the day that Happiness came out being like, excuse me, where's the disc golf song? Yeah, and so I played it at every show this tour. I played it at all 10 shows, and AJ's asking, have a lot of your fans known the words? And it grew basically every show down the way. Those sing-alongs got louder and louder. Where in Portland, it was like, I got a couple people with the, been getting into disc golf lately, got the kind of the double, bogey, bogey, par, birdie, eagle, huck it hard. But then by Seattle, we were getting a pretty good sing-along to it. So Candy said, heard it in a karate studio. Yeah, that would have been that tour. Did I ever play it on stream before it released? No, I don't believe I did. I played it at a Zoom show in November of 2022. I kind of did that year. I did some new song showcases where I played a Zoom show and premiered or demoed a new song at the end as the kind of finale. And the first one I did was Platonic Best Friend, and then I think the second one I did was Too Bad, Too Bath and a Ghost, and then the third one was One Armed Hug, and then the fourth one was Disc Golf, which, as you know, there's even a lot of, I've been seeing this comment on YouTube the last couple of weeks. There's a disc golf reference in the Platonic Best Friend music video, because when I commissioned it from Deep Blue Ink, I was like, yeah, disc golf will be on this album, so I'll put a disc golf reference on one of the flyers on the tack board at the beginning of the music video that's talking about disc golf. And in the last couple of weeks, people have been like, wait a minute, excuse me, this video's been up for like a year. it's been knocking around behind the scenes for a long time. It was going to be a bonus track on Happiness, along with the updated version of The Chase. That was when Happiness was only 9 songs, but then I wrote Coward and a Bedtime Story, and yeah, so I'm very pleased with it. It's a fun song. I'll see kind of how much longevity it has in the set list, but it worked really well on the West Coast. I'll play it a little bit on the East Coast, Midwest, see if people are into it, and if so, then I'll keep playing it. But Nerdbird asks, on your spreadsheet, how do you differentiate between the Surge of Confidence headlights and the track headlights? I call it Headlights 2 on my spreadsheet. I call it Swallowing Gum 2, The Chase 2, and Headlights 2, even though canonically it's just Headlights. It's not a sequel to Headlights. It's the fastest way that I could figure just to differentiate when I'm talking about which song that I've played in the past. Which, yeah, I keep a spreadsheet of all my set lists, including YouTube streams, so I can see kind of what I've played. And it's very useful because when I went back to Sacramento, went back to Portland, and went back to Denver, I just went back to last year's spreadsheet of what I played and made sure that I didn't play the same kind of deep cut song. So if I played something like, I don't know, Toddler with a Slingshot, which is a very rare play, I just make sure that I don't play that again, and give a different kind of unique song. So I normally play 2 or 3 kind of deep cut songs at any particular show, and I don't want to repeat them in cities year over year. So yeah. Yeah. Did you sign anything cool on tour? Let me think. Did I sign anything cool? One thing that I got that was signed that was really neat was somebody at the Portland show took around a disc golf disc and had everybody in the audience sign it, and then gave it to me after the show, which is really, really sweet. And I just need to get my hook up on the wall to hang it. Nerdbird, that was you? It's cool. Awesome. Unless you're just taking credit for it. If it was you, I really appreciate that. I'm going to hang it on my wall of cool stuff that I have. I just need to put up a hook for it, and then I'll get it hung up. Can't use it. I always tell people, it's if I sign this Frisbee or whatever, you're not going to not play with it, right? But I'm super not going to play with this one because it's too special. Oh, yeah. Papa Bug reminds me, somebody in Denver came with a DVD of Jaws. This is great. So our artwork, obviously, here is Jaws. It's the Jaws thing. And somebody in Denver came up with a DVD copy of Jaws and had us sign it. And we both signed it. And I was like, is this one of your favorite movies? And she was like, I've actually never seen it. It's really cracked me up. I loved that. I'm trying to think what else I signed. We had a proposal in Salt Lake. That was really fun. That was a surprise to all of us, but we were very pleased with that. I didn't sign the proposal, but that's something that happened. Yeah, the Jaws DVD was great. Yeah, we signed a lot of Jam Mechanics cards. I'm trying to think if I signed anything super strange. Somebody traded me for a sticker. They traded a In-N-Out gift card. I had them sign it. Somebody had me open a loot box of some game that they were playing. They were like, can you click it so it opens a loot box? And apparently I got them a real legendary kind of thing that they were really hoping for. Somebody had me do a Pokemon Go at a bug type Pokemon, which I thought was very funny. And I think I caught it. I signed a Pokemon card. Yeah. Tuba Wet says there was a proposal at Salt Lake. Yeah, it happened very late in the merch line. There was only 10 people left. Yes, I got some very cool gifts on this tour. One being the disc golf. I got somebody in Albuquerque made me a cross stitch of the bug logo as hot air balloons, which is a very New Mexico kind of vibe. I got a couple of plushies, Catterbug plushies that I loved. Some nice notes. People wrote letters and stuff that are always really meaningful. That I always feel like people give me a letter. I'm like, I don't want to read this now because I don't want to be watched reading it. But I always, the soonest moment I have, I always open them and read them. Mars is here. Hello, Mars. What else? Anything else? I got a lot of good stuff. Oh, yeah. Here, I'm actually going to get up and get this one, even though it's difficult, because I'm only going to get this one and show it off. And while I'm there, I'll get the disc, too. Because I can't believe that it made it back to my house when I flew back from Seattle. So everyone give me just a moment, and I'm going to be back in 10 seconds. Okay, I'm back. Okay, so first thing, while I was there, I grabbed this. This was the Catterbug cross stitch that has the New Mexico symbol and the hot air balloons and chili peppers as the little bug antenna. I think that was so cute. So I got that. Love that. This was the disc that I got in Portland. Apparently it was at Nerdbird. Am I remembering that right? Yeah. This was awesome, and it says Portland, Oregon, June 2nd, 2024. Yeah, so I love this, and yeah, it's just great. So I'm gonna put that on my wall as well. And then this one is one that I'm amazed made it back, but this is a little clay figurine of Harrison, which it's like molded out of clay, and it's got this little like paper clip kind of holding up the meteor. And I was like, there's not a chance that this gets back to my house flying. I was like, I'm just gonna let God decide if this gets back in one piece. And I put it, I had my backpack, and I just put it in the top of my backpack, wrapped in like a couple napkins. And I was like, I'm gonna do everything I can to not like be rough with my backpack, but obviously I gotta like put it under the seat, and I gotta take it back up, and I gotta carry it around. And when I got back to my house, the first thing I did was I took it out, and it was in great condition. And so yeah, I love this little guy, and I can't believe that it made it back. Yeah. So got some good stuff. Always really happy that people are so enthusiastic and want to, give stuff to let me know that they like my music. It really makes me happy. I have a whole wall of just of stuff that I've hung, and yeah, I've only been home for a couple days, so I still need to get my little hooks out and go. So yeah. Yilva Blank says, I never saw your actual face until the most recent music video. It was a wild revelation. Yeah, I was just reminded the other day that I was in a music video for Braggin. It popped up on something, and I was super pleased to see that. That was a really fun day. It was like almost 2 years ago. I had so much fun doing that, and we were kind of spoofing on the fact that I'd had Sam play kind of like the main role in those music videos because they were filmed in the UK. And then when I went to the UK, I was like, well, let's do a thing where we're both auditioning to play me in the Bug Hunter music video, which we thought was a really fun kind of meta deal to do. So Tuva says, do you still have the bracelet I gave you? Absolutely. I never get rid of bracelets. I have quite a few, but I never get rid of them. So, cool. Why don't I? We're gonna end things here with just another song. I'm gonna do the little Jam Mechanics guy. This also came out on May 31st, and it's about a park ranger and nothing else. It started off as devil's advocate to challenge all my views. When every answer has a question, it's not hard to get confused. This is the devil and his handsome is so hey, what can you do? If this clever devil's accurate, he might convince you too. I found the devil down in Richmond. He was fishing for some sins. He was perched up on a cloud. I found him humming gospel hymns. I says, you ain't got a license. This is twice I've caught you here. My indictment's met with silence. He just beckons me, come near. He goes, watch the bobber in the water down below the pole. When a sinner takes the bait, all that's left to do is pull. You can see the sweet relief on all the faces of their victims. It's a vicious job, but I acknowledge I am quite addicted. Then the pole was in my hand, then I cast my hook out far. This is how it all began, this is how my spiral started. I fist devil's advocate to challenge all my views. When every answer has a question, it's not hard to get confused. This is the devil at his handsomest, so hey, what can you do? If this clever devil's accurate, he might convince you too. 3, 4. So we meet up every weekend at a different fishing spot, hopping on another city, staying a step ahead of God. I didn't want to think of consequences were I ever caught. The devil can be dangerous, but no one crosses God. We pull criminals and bitter souls, abusers, crooks, and cons. But heaven never sent the set of rebels with a cause. It was thrilling, it was chilling, it was killing evil souls. The method's pretty brutal, but damn, we got results. In Amsterdam and cleaning up our hooks, I took a chance to count the bounties. Now I wish I'd never looked. I found a kid inside his bucket. What the hell? He's barely 8. He said he must have been a sinner. After all, he took the bait. It started off as devil's advocate to challenge all my views. When every answer has a question, it's not hard to get confused. This is the devil at his handsomest, so hey, what can you do? If this clever devil's accurate, he might convince you too. I am an angel, I took an oath. I am a savior, a danger, or both. I don't go fishing, not anymore. And I haven't seen the devil in 20 years or more. So when I'm called into God's office, told I have a new assignment, there's a lead on where he's fishing, and it's up to me to find him. I can't confess that I can guess exactly where to look. Now it's up to me if I or he will end up on the hook. This is the first time I've had to play it without Matt accompanying me. I think it still works, but it was fun. We played the hook, I think, 3 times at VIP events. It wasn't ready for the primetime show, but it was a really fun one for VIP at, I think we did it in, who remembers? Who could possibly remember? I know we did it in Salt Lake. I know we did it in Seattle, but it's a real fun one. I think Ty might have been asking earlier about whose idea was it to get Matt on the track, and it was mine. As I was looking at it, I was like, oh man, this works really, really well as a duet, especially given the last line being sung by both the angel and the devil. Gives like a whole new like twist on that last line just by being sung by both people at the same time. I was like, oh man, that is like such a cool ending to the song. That was like elevated it by like not changing a lyric at all, just having both people sing it. I was like, oh, that like totally turns the ending on its head even more of a cliffhanger than it already was. I was so pleased with that. So do I miss Matt already? Always. I always miss Matt. I was trying to arrange for me and him and Kyle and Deep Blue Ink to play some video games after I got off my stream, but Matt is busy doing pub trivia stuff, so maybe a different time. Yeah, Chaotic Good says, I really love the 3 choruses being sang by the devil, then both in the angel. Yeah, I thought that was perfect way to do that, where they team up and they're singing it together, and then at the end, kind of each time the chorus is sung, it just feels a little bit different, a little sinister, and then fun, and then sad, even though the words don't change. Housecoat Hero just wants me to know that I'm awesome, and I really appreciate that. It's been very fun to get back on the stream. I'll try to stream a little more regularly in the 2 months that I'm home. The reason I'm not touring right now is because I have some personal stuff to do, just trips to take and places to go, and it's wedding season in the summer, so I'll be out. I'll be in and out a bit over the next 2 months, but I'll try and stream when I can. Let's see, what else we got? Dissin is dropping on Friday, so if anybody is unsure of where to find it, it's going to be over on the Jam Mechanics page. I won't rule out releasing Jam Mechanics based songs as Bug Hunter songs, but in the meantime, I've been fine just releasing things under the Jam Mechanics page. And Buried Under Gary came out last Friday, so if you haven't heard Matt's first glow up song, taking the demo from Jam Mechanics and finishing the production, Something's Buried Under Gary, Indiana, is out on Spotify and YouTube now too. So that brings our combined count to 3. We got Artist for Amateurs being our Season 1 theme song, and The Hook and Spuggy, as I like to call it, out now. Dissin dropping on Friday, and then 2 weeks after that, we should have Get Deep Fried. I think Matt has laid out the roadmap there. So, does your Season 2 theme song have a title? Yeah, we call it Friend in My 30s. Yeah, so, and similar to Artists for Amateurs, that little clip is all we got. We'll see if we can pull something together for a full song, but at the moment, just that little clip. I identified with it quite a bit, so. Other than that, I think I'm going to try and get some of the video episodes for episode 2 and episode 3 up tomorrow if I can. I'm coming back from tour. I had to hit the ground running with just stuff to do, just so much stuff to do. There's so much stuff to do all the time. Didn't really get a break coming back. So I'm getting through my priority list of things to get done. Biggest priority is we got episode 4 of Jam Mechanics dropping a week from tomorrow, and so we got to get that edited down. And then we need to do episode 5. So we're getting a little bit more behind than we wanted to be, but we were able to get episodes done that got us through the end of tour and with a little bit of extra room. So, yeah, anyways, did I at least get to sleep in at least once since coming home? Yeah, I slept for 12 hours the other night. It wasn't immediate. My first couple days home, I was just like pretty normal, not a lot of sleep and having a lot to do. But then, yeah, when I don't know what day it was, Friday, Thursday, one of those days, I fully slept from like 10 p.m. to 10 a.m. and it was awesome. And then yesterday I took a nap, which was great. We went to Williamsburg, and it was so hot out. It's so hot in Virginia right now. I went to Williamsburg for like an hour, and we're like, okay, that's enough. And we drove home, and then I took like a 3-hour nap. It's perfect. And then, yeah, this morning, me and my wife went and played pickleball, which is really fun. We found a pickleball court near us that on a Sunday morning at 10 o'clock, there was nobody there, which is great. All my pickleball experiences have been like crowds and crowds and crowds of old people wanting to play, and you have to put your paddle up on the thing. But there was no one there, so I was able to teach my wife how to play without any like pressure. But it was very hot, so we played 2 games, and then we're like, time to go home. And then I was like, I got my stream anyway, so yeah. Almost Active wants to know what Jam Mechanics song is your favorite. I'm gonna say, honestly, like of the song that I have written and then listened to back on loop, I'm gonna say episode 4 of season 2, the one that is coming out in about 8 days. I'm excited for it. So not to build up hype or anything, but I'm so pleased with it. I think it's so fun. Anyways, of ones that y'all have heard, the hook. I mean, the hook is probably like I love. I think when I wrote it, I was like that was cool, but then the more like I thought about it, and when I went back to like go rewrite it to like finish it, I was like, there's not really a lot to do here. Like this is like pretty fully formed. I changed one line just because I didn't really care for the line that used to be there. But other than that, like I think the hook might have been my favorite thing that came out of season 1. Of season 2, so far I've written Agamemnon. We had Crickets and Silence and Both. And I'm pleased with all 3 of those. They're all 3 very different. And I would probably say my favorite is probably Agamemnon. I think there's more room in it to mess with, and it's a stronger concept. I really liked Both though. It just needs an ending. I think my biggest thing with my episode 2 song and my episode 3 song is that it just kind of needs a little bit more. It's like 2/3 done. Just to give it a little bit more. I think. Oh yes, thank you, Apple, for reaffirming that thumbs up. I want to make sure everybody saw it. But yeah, I think it would be nice for my song from episode 2 to just have a more satisfying ending. I feel like I wrote 2 verses, 2 choruses, and then was just kind of like I ran out of time, and so I would love to revisit that and give it. I love the idea. If you haven't listened to it, close your ears. But I love the idea of a song that's just about like you think that someone's gonna like get out of the situation, but everybody on like the cop side of the story is like making sure that everything's airtight, and he's like, well, that's it, that made me laugh, and it was fun to make. So yeah, we're gonna do thumbs up on this stream and see if we can get a little fireworks going. It's a good way to end the stream. But yeah, I appreciate everybody coming out to my stream. Thanks for sitting through the technical difficulties that we had at the beginning. I think my internet is sufficiently figured out. We got postcard of the day on our website. I don't think anybody's bought it today yet, but I haven't checked. I'm just gonna guess. So you can get that and go listen to Jam Mechanics. Do it right now. I know that if you're on here, if there are 44 of you, you're listening to this, and you're like, oh yeah, I'll watch this guy just stream or whatever, and I'm gonna go out of your ears in the next 2 minutes. And so just go to the podcast app or Spotify, wherever you listen to podcasts, put on episode 1 of Jam Mechanics if you haven't listened to it, and it'll be like I'm still here and still talking, and you'll love it. So cool. And join our Discord. It's a good Discord. Do I have anything else to say? I don't think I do. Cool. I'll be back Wednesday, and I'll play some more songs for you in chat. So thanks, everybody. And goobers, no matter where you are in the world, go to bed.